me an answer, that is scary. It is scary. It's like somebody, a promoter coming to you and say, "Oh, you do boxing, you good? Okay. Um, why should I choose you instead of choosing your friend that you train with?" I can see you guys are almost on the same level, but I want to hear from you because somebody wants to see something coming from the inside and saying that will determine whether I pick you or not, or I pick the other guy or not.
You say this, but like, how
So
are you gonna like benefit from me anyway in any single way, or benefit from anyone? Like, because you're teaching me, you're not like I'm not getting paid and I'm not paying you. Like, so it's like it's not like you're wasting your time doing anything either, because all I'm
yeah,
doing
you
is like
can walk.
standing
You
there
can
and
you
watching
can
you.
walk away after wasting my time. You can walk away next month. Is that possible?
Like, I haven't wasted your time because
No,
you're
no, no. Wait. You can walk away next month. Is that possible? Is that a possibility? Is that an option that you have in your hand? You can walk away anytime.
I mean, I don't I don't know how you want me to answer that, because
No, no,
if
no.
I
I'm
really want,
telling you. No, no, no. I'm not asking. It's not a question. It's a fact. You can walk away
yeah,
here today and not come back.
yeah.
Okay. Anything that I would invest in. What else do you do here? Do you wash? Do you sell? Do you clean the floor?
No,
You don't. So when I ask you the question, what have I got to gain in investing in you? I'm investing my time and effort in teaching you a trade. And if you think it's that easy and simple for you to just show up whenever you want, it won't work. It will not work. I can see that you want to learn, but then it's got to be in a disciplined way, in a kind of, number one is you've been very argumentative. Very argumentative. I understand you're young, but you've been. I don't think I've trained somebody who is. I don't know. Maybe Jordan Daniels was 17 when he left school. Maybe Jordan Daniels. He must have been like 18 by then. But I think you're probably the youngest person I've trained. Not just that. There's a black guy that you might even know. He's black, but he's. I think he's fostered by a white family, and he used to do running.
Greg.
Yeah, he was here. He was here, and the only thing that I, when I look at you, that's the only thing I see. He was there, and he had almost the same attitude like you, with a phone and not paying attention, not observing and stuff.
I
So
did.
in the end, I just said to his mom, "Well, we can't do this."
You see, this is what I don't understand. You told me about my phone, and then I put my phone away. But then, like, you told me about my phone, I put it away. There, simple, no problem. And then I went on my phone again. But when I went on my phone, you wasn't cutting hair. You weren't even cutting hair.
Well, I'm gonna be blunt and straight to you. Your attitude towards the work, um, I don't know what your attitude is like towards boxing, but I believe your attitude towards boxing is great. But your attitude towards this particular product is not good. It is rubbish. What are you supposed to do when you're here? You are the one who's supposed to clean the floor, okay? You probably understood that one. But you're the one who's supposed to put the customer on the chair and prepare the customer. You sit him there, you put a gown on him, you get him ready for me to come and do the job. But what are you doing? You're sat there with your phone and you find that kind of a positive attitude. That's what you find. You say, "Oh, you weren't doing nothing because I was waiting for you to come and put the gown on the customer, or even tell the customer, what do you want? Do you want to sit on here? Okay, come and sit on here rather than sitting on the waiting chair. Come and sit here on the cutting chair." So you're supposed to be taking care of the customer pre-haircut. That is the minimum that is required from you, and that you need to be switched on for that. But if you have constant distraction with your phone, it will become difficult, very difficult for you to remember those settings. So when I tell you about your phone, I'm not supposed to tell you about your phone. I can say to you, you come here, these are the rules. You take your phone away. When you come in, you put your phone behind the counter there, and we are there training. We are there learning. You know, you're not just learning perhaps how to cut, but a very wise person will try and learn a bit more than just cutting hair. A very wise person, they will say, for example, customer service, um, dealing with customer, you can actually go somewhere and say, well, I know how to do customer service. Oh, how do you use the till? Can I learn how to use the till? These are skills that are required for for you even to go and work maybe in a restaurant or something. It's something not negligible. It's not something like, it's something positive, but it's there at your disposal. It's there that for you to take or ignore. So what I'm saying to you is the attitude should be that you will sit the customer on a chair, you will engage with the customer. How are you doing? Because you're there, you're learning. You're not just learning how to hold the clippers. You're not just learning how to find the levels. You're learning how to communicate with them. You're learning the whole thing, how to welcome the customer, how to engage with the customer, and how to sit them on a chair. Ask them, what do you want? Do you want it like this? Do you want it like that? All of that communication is essential.
I get what you're saying, but like the only thing you're teaching me at the end of the, I'm not giving you attitude. At the end of the day, is how to cut hair. So like, say if I wanted to do that extra stuff, that's off my own back.
Why should I invest in you picking and choosing what type of interest, where you put your interest? How do you
In
know that?
cutting
How do
hair,
you know that? How do you know that your interest actually matching with my interest? So if you're left here today and say try and run the shop for the day, it's gonna be chaos, isn't it? It's gonna be chaos for sure. But you see that kid there, he's not been here for 2 weeks. This is the second week. Oh well, he's just starting the third week there. But last week it was his second week. But he kind of knows pretty much what's happening there. He's not, perhaps you will say, not learning how to cut hair actively, but he's got this general awareness that he wants to understand how everything works. But when you have that time at your disposal, you go straight on your phone. That's your will and desire. That's what you do. Whereas I'm saying to you, it comes back to the point where I said, why should I invest in you if I can get somebody who will show me willingness and will be receptive of the instructions? And you can't tell me that simple things. And why
because
should
you wanted to. It weren't the fact of like you wanted like me. You wanted someone. I don't know why you wanted someone, but you wanted someone. It's like I wouldn't have came looking for it. I saw it there, so I thought I'd give it a chance. So like
so
when you,
because I'm looking for someone, I can just grab anyone?
I mean, yeah,
No, it doesn't work like that. You're looking for someone. You have kind of standard, aren't you? You have standard when it comes to, let's say, even eating the food that you eat. There is a standard set for the food that you can eat. There will be some food that somebody will present to you and you say, no, 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 I'm not having none of that because it's crap. Look crap. It's not the standard because you have standard. So even when it comes to picking, saying that you need somebody doesn't mean you just, IKEA might say we need somebody, or you go there and say staff wanted. It doesn't mean anybody can apply, but not anybody will get a job. It will have to be the people who are vetted and shown that they meet the requirements, they meet the minimum requirement for that particular job. Then they will get a job. I'm not here to kind of make you feel as if you're not wanted. I want your interest to be in line. I want you to understand what I am expecting from you. And I would have wanted you to say, for example, what do you want me to do? What kind of task do you want me to do? And then we get into the business, the nitty gritty of I want you to put the customers, prepare the customers, clean the clippers, do this, do that. I'll be telling you those things, and you will say, all right, I got that. So next time, that's what I'll be doing. But instead, you will rather just have um, a belligerent, which is, I've done a lot. I don't know what else you want me to do. I do this, I do that, I do this. Training somebody, I don't know whether you ever, I'm pretty sure you've looked at this. You say, how much does it cost to be trained as a barber? Um, Usually it's the government that's paying for this. It's the government that's paying for all of this stuff. And somebody can even take the money from the government and say, the student is rubbish, or the trainee, or whatever they call it apprentice is bad. So I can't, his attitude is wrong. It's not focused on the thing. I can't waste my time with him. So they will reject that. But it's the government that is paying. Very rare for somebody to pay, especially of your age, for somebody to pay. Because the system here, you go through the government, and government employment kind of help and support, they will find a place, because there are companies that do this placement where they place you in some barbershop and you learn. They might place you somewhere that's rubbish, but you've got to stick up with it. You have to, you know, just get on with it. But here you pick, you have the choice to pick, a place where you believe you can gain that knowledge. You don't get that luxury when you're going through the government or job center or whatever. You say, I want to learn a trade. And then they say, okay, we're going to get you an apprenticeship in barbershop. Or you go there and you go for so many days a week, and you get paid. There's an apprenticeship kind of wage there. We
But at my
get,
age, it'd be
we,
like £5 an hour. Me, I'm not
yeah,
getting paid.
we,
I'm not asking to get paid. But like, so do you know?
no, you keep coming back to, what are you getting paid for? What are you getting paid for? To walk away tomorrow?
I didn't say I don't. I didn't say. I said I don't want to be paid. I said
Yeah,
I'm not getting paid, and I
but
don't want to be paid.
that's precisely the point. So payment is something that I don't expect from a young person like you. It usually be like adult kind of guys, like proper adult, like somebody who is 25-year-old or whatever. Will say, I want to invest in this, I want to invest in barbering, and then he will pay to get, train and show him what to do. It's it's always difficult. It's challenging to learn a new trade or to learn something from fresh. It is challenging, and I find it difficult. Uh, I find it difficult to to be honest, to see how much progress you've done is for, I mean, like, for however long I've been training people. But it is difficult. This one, it is difficult. It's like somebody pouring water on something and it's not taking, or trying to put the fire on something and it's just hard to catch. Within, when you're, is it the second week, this one, or was it last week, the second week?
This is the second one.
This one's the second week, right? By the end of this week, I used to say to these people I train, every week I will get an evaluation and I will tell you how I think you've progressed and what you've actually learned. Um, but it is difficult, but it all depends on you. But once you can get observation spot on, and you will not be having any problem. If you get observation spot on, even if after that you're still slow or you're still not making progress, the person knows this guy, he's actually watching. He's not missing those seconds, he's not missing the valuable minutes because he's distracted by the phone or distracted by friends or customers. Sometimes customers can come there and one person can get lost in conversation with a customer and forgetting the real reason why they are there. So losing focus and losing precious learning time. So I want to see from you a change in in attitude, observation, and that's my key problem. If I have the sense that I'm losing my time, which you don't believe that I could be using my time with you, I would just say, we can't carry on with this. I will just say that we can't carry on with this. It's not that nobody can learn. I mean, even the young kid that you said there, he can be a great barber tomorrow, but today he might not have had that the right attitude. The kids there, they play football, but they don't get the time when they have the skills. The coach is trying to get them in a team, but they're messing about. But then by the time they become disciplined, they're not young anymore. The skill set mm, is not there anymore. So you want to be able to read the moment and be able to be appreciative. I have nothing to gain in making you feel bad. I have to be honest with you, just like your boxing coach is honest with you. When you do something, he's going to tell you this is wrong, this is not the way you do it. He's not going to say like this, oh, well done. Everybody deserves a medal. Even the guy that came last bottom, he deserves a medal as well. That's what the 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 silly world does. But the real world is very competitive. Very, very competitive. And I said and joked to you there before. I said somebody will get up there and fight you because you've not done the hair the right way, thinking that you did it on purpose. And I usually say to these guys, well, I might do a mistake. I'm not a machine, but even a machine can get it wrong. I'm a human being, so I can at times do certain things wrong. So don't be so angry with me to the point where you want to knock me out. I don't set up in the morning with the aim to go and mess someone's hair up. I don't think any barber does that. Somehow, one or two barbers might not be experienced enough or not knowing taking a challenge that they cannot handle. It's a gamble. They might gamble there, and when you do a gamble, it can be left or right. It can be, you know, it can give you anything. So we always go there with the good intention to provide and give the good service, the good haircut, the best haircut. Now you have some fussy customers. You have mistakes that can step in there and make that experience less enjoyable. I want you to enjoy cutting hair. I want to teach you how to cut hair because I consider you as a son, and I will not be uh, giving you like sweets all the time and just cuddling you all the time, and I will have to be tough and honest, rough and frank with you and tell you this is not good, and I'm doing it for your own benefit. I'm doing it for your own benefit because those skills, once you've got them, nobody can take them away from you. Those skills are there for life. That's, you know, that's priceless. You might pay what £1,000 to learn something, but once you have it, you've got the key to open heaven to open uh, one avenue that you would be fully in charge of what's happening there, how you want it to go. You could be some great persons like you could be the barber of maybe Ronaldo's son tomorrow. You could be the barber of somebody else. So you have to dream big. So I want that focus from you. But on the other side is when I was talking about this message that you sent at 13 about 50, what time were you expected here? I remember having a
11.
conversation with you
11.
talking about time, saying that Saturday is a
11.
short day.
11.
Yeah, that Saturday is a short day. So if you expected here about 11 o'clock and you send a
I should have messaged
passive
earlier.
you send a passive message at almost 2 o'clock. That's almost like 3 hours. Almost 3 hours. You send a passive message. If you're expected at work or at training or to an event, you're expected to that event,
Give him
and for
notice.
some reason you cannot make it there, whenever you realize you cannot make it there, that moment, you should treat your reaction or you should treat the situation as an emergency. Because I'm expected there at 12 o'clock and we are 10 to 12, or we are half past 12 or half past 11. And I know if I take my transport to get there, I will not get there on time. So you've
Let him know
made that
beforehand.
determination. You've made that determination that you will definitely be late. Now, everybody gets late somewhere. And what matters is the attitude. What do you do once you realize that? Once you realize I will not be able to meet that, you know, to fulfill that, let's say, rendezvous or that appointment, that moment, what you do is what determines a good worker to a bad one. What you do next. Everybody gets late from work because of boss was late or my tire popped or whatever. Something happened, my child got sick or I had to take to hospital. I punctured, well, I had an accident or blah blah. There's no excuse that you can fabricate that nobody has ever heard before. There will be you always say something that someone else has already said before. It's the attitude towards that, and that's why I was telling you to take the mobile number, the landline number for the shop,
So I can ring
because
up.
that landline number is the one that you ring up from that time where you make that determination, time where you make that decision that I don't think I'll make it on time. You must call somebody. You don't send a passive message. That message could be read 5 hours later. That message
Yeah, I get what. Yeah, I
could
get what you're
never be
saying.
read.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You're here in the shop. Where's my phone? My phone is not necessarily in my pocket. Sometimes somebody else is using my phone to do the messages, or sometimes the phone is just on charge, or sometimes it's somewhere away there. So I always say this to people: if they want to get me, they want
Call the
to,
shop.
they have to call the shop. That one we can barely miss that unless we have like high volume on the TV. We will hear the call. So when someone cannot come to work, they will make sure they call because that's an emergency. You're expecting me here at 12 o'clock to do something. It's got to do with staffing. I worked here on Saturday on my own, right? Because he was resting. She wasn't there. She told me on Thursday that she can't make well in advance that she can't make Saturday. So I was relying mainly on you being there as a helping hand or somebody that can play the role of one extra staff. But no, I found myself just there alone, so doing all the stuff. Now I understand what you say. You say, oh, well, I'm here to learn though. Let's go back to that. I said, you don't want to be labeled as a trainee. Once you're labeled as a trainee, people will swerve you and avoid you. So you don't want that to settle in. People to have that image of you as being that trainee guy, that apprentice. No, you want to spend less time in that kind of setting and move on and be free, being able to cut people. But you need to put the hard work in. So that then takes me to asking this question: when do you want to learn? What days do you want to learn? What days are you available and what hours? So far, you've done 12 o'clock. So far you've done 12, even if you've not. And that's another thing. When you say 12 o'clock, it's not 10 past 12. It's not. You know that means you're late. That means you should be calling somebody to say that I'm going to be late today. So if you say 12 o'clock, you have to make it for 12. If you say it's half 12, you have to make it for half 12. If you say it's half 11, you have to make it for half 11. Nobody's forcing you. I'm running a business. The opening times there are not set by a customer. They are set by me. I set the opening times. But how does it look if I set the opening times freely
Yeah,
and I
like you're not
cannot?
being forced to.
Yeah,
Like, say
yeah,
I'm not being
yeah,
forced. Like I
yeah.
chose 12 and I'm late for
Yes,
12
yeah.
when I could
You
have
can
chose
say on
one.
Tuesday I can come 1 o'clock or I can come 10 o'clock. I can do this. You're free to do this. But once you engage in that, once you take that responsibility, say I will be available from 11 o'clock, then you have to make it count. You have to make it
Yeah,
11 o'clock.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
If you say I'm going to be here only 1 o'clock, well, make it 1 o'clock. But don't come here, say you choose 1 o'clock, and then you say, oh, well, I didn't know it was, no, it's got to be
Yeah, I know what you mean.
serious.
Yeah,
So I'm not forcing you, but I will want for anybody who is training at least 3 days, at least 3 days in a week where they can learn. But out of those 3 days, there has to be one weekend day there. One weekend day is either Friday or Saturday. We will call them weekend days because those are the days when the shop is busy. So, so you should have at least one of those days. You should have at least 3 days. Now, if you want, I would love to have you here every day, but I don't want to put that burden on you to the point where it becomes a problem. Oh yeah, I was here yesterday and I was there today, and I have things to do that I can't do because I was here every day, and it makes me feel like I'm forcing you. No, I'm not forcing you. You pick the days you want to do, and you also pick the hours you want to do there. But I will stick to those hours. I would expect you to be here for those hours and those days. So, do you actually know what days you are willing to come into the? Or you want to think about this?
I'll think about it. Yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. You're being reasonable. At first, I sometimes I do get a bit defensive, but because you've been reasonable, obviously I've like, and I can't help that. It's just the person I am. I get defensive at things, but
Yeah.
you've been reasonable, so
So,
obviously
so
I'll
I'm
do.
saying that you pick the house. If you want to do 5 days, you want to do Monday to Friday, that's up to you. But you give me those hours. You give me those time. It's not rock solid. Like if you say Tuesday I can do 12 till 5, one day might come. You find yourself on Monday with something to do on Tuesday, and you say, oh, you know what, tomorrow you need to give me at least 24 hours,
No,
about 24 hours notice. Say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to need that day to do something, so I can't make it here for this time. So can we do 2 o'clock instead, or is there any point even coming at 2 or 3? So you can talk like that, or you can just say, I don't want to be. I don't think I'll be able to make it here tomorrow, so let's skip tomorrow and move on to another day. That's what I was looking for. Now. Hey, somebody there? I thought there was somebody at the door. So those are the settings and the talk that I wanted to have with you. You are um, Cameroon descent, so I treat you like a son because my daughter, she's older than you. She's 18. She's going 19 next month, next week. So I treat you like a father would treat his son. but I have to be rigid. I have to be strict with you. I can't just let you do whatever. And I know that it's up to you. Unlike what you say, you can decide to walk away after 1 month. You can decide to walk away after 3 months. I'm not going to take all that knowledge back. I'm not going to. Whatever I've given you, whatever you've learned, will just stay there with you. So, and I'll be the loser. I have to set up with another kid like you or somebody else that I'll sit down and talk and we'll be going through this whole
Yeah,
process.
repeat it.
Yeah. So it's not enjoyable to be teaching somebody because there are challenges. There are times the person will think that you're uh, too strict or too strong or too harsh, and it can create conflicts. But one has to understand that some of these things, when you watch some of those videos about your haircut, and you say, "This can't be me." Oh, look at this! Look at what I was doing. I didn't even know what I was doing on here. You look at it with different angle, different mindset now because now you understand how to do it. You know how to do the hair, cut the hair. You've learned it, the trade and stuff, and you can see how laughable you know that job was. You can look at the job and say, "Oh no, I didn't do this." You can even reject some of your own work that you did. So because now you understand how it works. So it takes time to learn, but you have to give yourself the best um, chances to learn. Like observation is key. I say that to people. Observation is key. Watching the video is also very helpful. Watching a video on YouTube, how people cut hair, where people are training how to cut hair. I watch a lot of YouTube videos too. I watch videos on how to deal with some other issues like to do perm, and all of this stuff. I watch it there on YouTube. So you have all that, and you've got to take um, that chance, that opportunity, and be less belligerent, be less defensive. Try to be less, be a listener. Be a very good listener rather than being a very good defense or whatever lawyer that would just rebuke everything every time. Let the person go to the end of the argument, the end of their point. Try to understand the underlying message. So sometimes the message is not open. You need to decode the message sometimes. Because I said to you the other day, I said it could take you 10 years to cut hair. That's a message. That should fire you up, and so you go home and go home. I'm gonna show this guy that I can do this shit. I can do this. Because I'm going home, I'm going to go there and learn more on YouTube, on social media. I'm gonna learn more and I'll come back different tomorrow. He will see an improvement tomorrow. He will see an improvement next week. That's what I'm going to do. So
Never mind, you'll see one today.
sorry.
You'll see one today.
What
An
today?
improvement today.
Why have you been cutting people?
No, I mean like just on the shop, like the hair.
Yeah. So sometimes you can just come to the shop like this one day, and then it all click. It all start rolling. As like I said to you, like a train on the track. You know, you're not yet stable there on that track yet. But once you get on the track there, you just be rolling from that point on.
Yeah.
But you need to get there. But it takes mental strength and it takes courage and determination to say, I'm going to do this. This can be, other people to do it. How come not me? I can do this. I will do it. So I'll do whatever it takes to master that. So once you do that, you'll be fine. And we will talk less. You will need me less and less. So try and make it count. Try and make it happen. And you can go. So I'm waiting for you. When can you get me the days when you can do this? Because you said you can't do Saturdays, can't you? You said you can't do Saturdays, so you'll have to do Fridays. So when you're giving the days, you have to start with Friday. You say, okay, Friday I can do 12 till, I can do 10 till, you know.
Yeah.
They can change. You can change it every Sunday. You can send a message every Sunday and say,
I'll come in these days. Yeah.
this is my next week list. So, um, hopefully we can get moving. I had your brother yesterday. I wanted him to do a podcast, but they couldn't come. I don't know whether it's because they didn't have transport or what. I can pick them up. They never said. Uh, but
What day?
but yesterday I was chasing your older brother.
Well,
But
Jack was in bed all day, yeah, because they go out on Saturdays. They go out drinking and all that. So it's gonna be hard to catch them. I'll let them know.
okay, let's do that. So let's see what you said there. You said about the gown. You said that the gowns were missing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to find them. I have to find